Here's my thing. I got nothing but respect for Paul George. I promise you that. The brother is a baller. Either he's a 1A star or he's a smaller superstar, meaning he's not LeBron, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Steph Curry, but he's still maybe right behind them in that superstardom category. He's right there. But listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't compare the Indiana Pacers to their 7th seed. I have to compare the Indiana Pacers to their expectations going into the season. So, see, what we're going to do is, because the Cavs were the 2 seed and the Pacers were the 7th seed, we're going to be like, well, LeBron and the Cavs should have swept the Indiana Pacers. That's what they should have did. It's the 2 versus the 7. Well, I'm not comparing them to that 7th seed. Going into this season, I thought the Pacers had an opportunity to be a 3 seed, at worst a 4 seed. Remember, this offseason, they went and added Al Jefferson, Thaddeus Young, and Jeff Teague. It didn't work out with Al Jefferson. Miles Turner has become the starter. You had Jeff Teague, who to me has not performed at the level I thought he would perform this season. And you have Thaddeus Young, who I think is an undersized 4, but he fills roles. Like, I've seen Thaddeus Young out-rebound the Cavs single-handedly a couple games in this series on the boards. And I like what he gives to a team. There's enough talent that's there. Then you go out and get Lance Stevenson. You bring him back, energizes the crowd with 3 years, $12 million deal, and you have Paul George. That is enough talent for this team to not get swept. I'm sorry. We're going to go compare him to the 7th-seeded team that he currently is on, the Pacers. But we should be comparing him to the expectations that were placed on this Indiana Pacers team going into the season. LeBron James proved that LeBron James is still the greatest guy on the planet, period. I got another vlog coming up, and I'm going to talk about how LeBron James ain't falling off, right? But in regards to this series, LeBron James absolutely dominated this series. Kyrie was great in spurts, but this series was told by LeBron James' dominance. Paul George's inability to cover LeBron James or want to cover LeBron James. And honestly, it came down to a J.R. Smith maintaining his own on Paul George in pivotal spots, over a Lance maintaining himself over a Lance, or even a C.J. Miles maintaining himself on LeBron James. And even a Thaddeus Young had to cover LeBron James. That's what it came down to. And the thing that's going to hunt the Indiana Pacers is that Game 3, third quarter meltdown that got the Cavs back into the game, where LeBron was knocking down threes from everywhere, from New Mexico. That is going to hunt Paul George. And I think it's going to end up with this being his last moment of his career in Indiana. You're going into an offseason where the Pacers know that this is their last offseason, possibly with the services of Paul George. Maybe they waited out to the trade deadline and maximize his worth, or maybe the Pacers go ahead and Larry Bird and company, they rebuild now. You trade him this offseason. He's entering the last year of his deal. You trade him now. You get some value for him. You find a team that's willing to give up some picks. You go look at this year's draft and next year's draft. Maybe you're able to make a trade. Maybe the Lakers, if they get a top 3 pick, maybe they are willing to give up a couple of these pieces. Maybe a Julius Randle and maybe a Jordan Clarkson, or maybe a Larry Nance and a D'Angelo Russell. And then you go get their number 1 pick. And maybe they're willing to trade Lonzo Ball for Paul George. Lonzo Ball, as good as he might be, and y'all know I'm big on Lonzo Ball, he has not done anything in the league yet. Paul George has shown us that he can be a top-notch number 1 guy on your team. So I think right now the Pacers are entering a very, very wicked offseason. But that series that they just got out of was controlled by one man. All right? Paul George had really big games, but that series was controlled by one man. And his name was LeBron James. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@ismrtelefarrell.com. Again, that's booking@ismrtelefarrell.com.